People from a planet without flowers would think we must be mad with joy to have such things around us. These are the words of Iris Murdoch. We may rather say that flowers are heaven's masterpiece. Students, as we go on field trips to study plants, we see various kinds of plants. Some plants may have flowers in bud condition, while others have flowers in full bloom. Have you ever tried to see the inside of a flower? Do you know about the various floral parts? You must have seen the green-colored sepals and the brilliantly colored petals of a flower. Have you ever thought about the different shapes of flowers? Yes, the different shapes of flowers could be due to different arrangements of sepals and petals. In today's topic, we will discuss about arrangement of sepals and petals in a flower.
ਹੈਲੋ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ, ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਫਲਾਵਰ ਦੇ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਪਾਰਟਸ ਦੀ ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੈ। As you know, flowers have an irreplaceable significance in our life. These flowers are very important part of our culture, tradition, religion and literature. But for a biologist, the words plant and flower are very specific. A flower is a specialized reproductive structure which develops on plants. So, the parts of a plant helping in reproduction are the flowers, and their final product is seeds. The study of these flowers provide a unique insight into the biology and evolution of flowering plants as a whole. In today's topic, we will study the different aspects of flowers. ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ sepals ਅਤੇ petals ਦੀ arrangement ਬਾਰੇ ਪੜਾਂਗੇ। Estivation is basically the arrangement of sepals and petals in a bud. The term is used to describe the way in which petals and sepals are folded in the bud of a flower. It is an important feature in plant classification. So, we can define estivation as the arrangement of sepals and petals in a floral bud with respect to other members of the same whorl. Estivation different types ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਚਲੋ estivation ਦੀਆਂ types ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣੀਏ। The main types of estivation are
Valuate,
twisted, imbricate, vexillary, quincuntial. We will study these types one by one. Let us start with the
Valuate type.
Valvate. As we can see here, the petals or sepals of the world are placed close to each other, but their edges do not overlap one another. Sometimes they may just touch each other. This is valvate estivation. Valvate estivation is found in Calotropis. The next type of estivation is the twisted type. In this type, the margins of petals or sepals overlap regularly. That is, one margin of a petal or sepal overlap the next one as clearly shown in the visual. Twisting may be either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Twisted estivation is found in hibiscus, that is China rose, lady's finger and cotton. The next type of estivation is imbricate. If the margins of sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction, the estivation is said to be of the imbricate type and is found in Cassia and Gulmohar. Or we may say that this is an irregular type of estivation because the margins of petals or sepals overlap in an irregular fashion. Out of the 5 petals, one is completely internal and one is completely external. And the remaining 3 petals or sepals have one margin internally placed and the other externally placed. Imbricate estivation in Cassia is being shown in this visual. Waxillary estivation. It is found in pea and bean flowers. There are 5 petals. All the petals are not of the same size. The largest one, which is known as standard, overlaps the 2 lateral petals. The lateral petals are called wings. The wings in turn overlap the 2 smaller anterior petals. These anterior petals form the keel. As clearly shown in the video, the posterior petal is largest and almost covers the 2 lateral petals, and the latter in turn nearly overlaps the 2 anterior and smaller petals. Plants of family Fabaceae like Pisum sativum shows this type of estivation.
The last type of estivation is quincuntial. It is also a type of twisted estivation. In this type of estivation, the petal lobes overlap in such a manner that the margins of the 2 petals are completely internal and the other 2 petals are completely external, and the remaining 1 petal has one margin internal and its other margin externally placed. This type of estivation is found in calyx of Ipomea and guava. Let us check it out.
Quinquential estivation. In this type of estivation, 2 petals are internal and 2 are external, and the 5th one has one margin external and the other margin internal. Quinquential estivation is found in Psidium guajava, that is guava or amrud, and Punica granatum, that is pomegranate or anar.
So students, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਫਲੋਰਲ ਬਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਟਲਸ ਅਤੇ ਸੈਪਲਸ ਦੀ ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ, ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਐਸਟੀਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ. Estivation can be an important taxonomic feature. We see that the floral buds of members of family Malvaceae generally have volvate type of estivation in their calyx. Let us now discuss another characteristic feature of flowers, that is, the arrangement of ovules inside the ovary. The ovules are attached to a parenchymatous cushion called placenta. We know that the female reproductive part, that is gynoecium, consists of many carpels. A carpel consists of stigma, style, and a swollen ovary at the base. The ovary is a large structure at the base of a flower and usually contains and protects many ovules. Flowering plants are unique because their ovules are completely enclosed within the ovary, and as you know, the ovary itself is a part of a larger structure called the carpel. These ovules vary to a great extent in their mode of arrangement inside the ovary, and now we are going to study the different types of arrangements of ovules in an ovary. An ovule is attached to the placental wall of the ovary through a structure known as funiculus. The ovules remain attached to the ovary wall till maturity. The area of the ovary wall to which an ovule is attached is referred to as the placenta. In flowering plants, placentation occurs where the ovules are attached inside the ovary. The arrangement of placentae in a compound ovary of Angiosperms is characterized by the presence or absence of a central column in the ovary and by the site of attachment. So, the term placentation commonly refers to the arrangement of placentae inside a flower or a fruit. In other words, we can say that placentation is the way in which carpels are fused together and the resulting position of the ovules within the ovary. Placentation may be defined as the mode of arrangement of placentae or ovule-bearing cushion of parenchymatous cells within the ovary. Plants which ovule attachment ਜਾਂ placentation different patterns ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਲਈ placentation ਨੂੰ different types ਵਿੱਚ classify ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ. Students, ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ Angiosperms ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ different types ਦੀਆਂ placentation ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰੀਏ. Types of placentation: marginal, parietal, exile, free central, basal and superficial. We will study these types one by one. Let us start with marginal type.
Marginal placentation. This is a simple type of placentation found in monocarpellary and polycarpellary apocarpous ovary. We know that the female reproductive part, that is gynoecium, consists of the stigma, style and ovary. In marginal type, the ovary is unilocular and there is only one elongated placenta on one side of the ovary, and the ovules are attached to the placenta in a single row. This type is conspicuous in legumes and found in plants like Pisum sativum and Cassia. The next type of placentation is parietal placentation. This type occurs in bi or multicarpellary but unilocular ovary. As clear from the visual, here the placentae are positioned on the wall of a unilocular compound ovary and ovules are attached to the outer wall of the ovary instead of the axis and point inward. The placenta bearing the ovules develop by swelling and fusion of adjacent margins of the carpel. The placentae thus appear as internal ridges on the ovary wall as found in cucumber. The next type of placentation is exile presentation. This type of placentation is common in bi or multicarpellary, multilocular ovary. Exile presentation shows chambers with the ovules attached in the center on the placenta in each locule. It means the septa divide the ovary into two or more locules. Hibiscus rosa sinensis possesses this type of presentation. Let us take another example of Exile Presentation. This is a cross-section of the ovary of wild ginger. There are septa dividing the ovary into 6 locules. Hence, the gynoecium of this flower consists of 6 connate carpels. Ovules are attached to the central axis of the ovary.
Students, एक सेप्टम ਜਾਂ wall ਇੱਕ interior wall ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ 2 ਜਾਂ 2 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਚੈਂਬਰਸ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕਿਊਲਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਪਰੇਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੈਪਟਾ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਸ एक्साइल प्लेसेंटेशन ਦਾ ਇੱਕ characteristic feature ਹੈ। The placentation is exile when there are septa which divide the ovary into 2 or more locules. The ovules are attached along the central axis close to the inner angles formed by the septa. Students, the placentation can be seen from the observation of older ovaries and fruits. Sometimes, in ovaries with exile placentation, septa secondarily tends to disappear. In such cases, the cross-section of the ovary or fruit shows only one locule. It is therefore necessary to observe the longitudinal section of the ovary to say whether the presentation is exile or free central. Let us now know about free central type of presentation.
Free central presentation occurs in multicarpellary but unilocular ovary. Here the carpels are fused only by the margins. This visual shows a central column in the ovary. Attached to the column are the ovules, and these ovules have no connection with the ovary wall. This is characteristic of family Caryophyllaceae and is found in dianthus. The next type of presentation is Basal Presentation. In this type of presentation, one or few ovules develop directly from the torus at the base of a simple or compound ovary. Basal presentation occurs in bi- or multicarpellary and unilocular ovary. Sunflower possesses basal presentation. Sometimes an ovule is attached to the apex of a unilocular ovary and hangs downward. This type of presentation is known as Apical Presentation and is found in cannabis or bhang. The last type of presentation that is found in multilocular ovary is superficial type of presentation. This type of presentation occurs in multicarpellary, multilocular ovary. Here the ovules are borne on the placentae, which develop all around the inner surface of the partition wall. Water lily, known as nymphia, shows this type of presentation.
Students, this was about placentation, that is the arrangement of placenta inside a flower. We have discussed 6 types of placentation and cited examples of flowers and fruits showing various types of placentation. Placentation or arrangement of ovules within the ovary is of taxonomic value as presentation has been accepted to be an important taxonomical feature for classification of Angiosperms. In addition, it is of great use as some orders have been named after the molding of their ovary architecture. For example, Centrospermi or पेराइटेल्स। सो स्टूडेंट्स, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਓਵਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਓਵਿਊਲਸ ਦੀ ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ, ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਲੇਸੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ। Well students, with this we conclude our today's lesson. Let us summarize all that we have learned so far. Estivation is basically the arrangement of petals and sepals in a floral bud. ਇਹ term ਇਹ describe ਕਰਨ ਲਈ use ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ buds ਵਿੱਚ floral petals ਅਤੇ sepals ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ fold ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹ plant classification ਦਾ ਇੱਕ important feature ਹੈ। So, estivation may be defined as arrangement of sepals and petals in a floral bud with respect to other members of the same whorl. Estivation is of different types. These are valvate, twisted, imbricate, vexillary, quincuntial. In valvate estivation, petals or sepals of a whorl are quite close to each other and meet by their edges, but do not overlap. Valvate estivation is found in Calotropis. In twisted estivation, margins of petals or sepals overlap regularly. That is, one margin of a petal or sepal overlaps the next and the other margin is overlapped by a preceding petal or sepal. It is found in hibiscus, that is, China rose. Imbricate estivation is found in Cassia. Vexillary estivation is found in pea and bean flowers. There are 5 petals. The largest, which is known as standard, overlaps the 2 lateral petals. These lateral petals are called wings. The wings in turn overlap the 2 smallest anterior petals. These anterior petals form the keel. The posterior petal is the largest and almost covers the 2 lateral petals, and later in turn nearly overlaps the 2 anterior and smallest petals. Plants of family Fabaceae like Pisum sativum shows this type of estivation. The arrangement of placentae in the compound ovary of Angiosperms is characterized by the presence or absence of a central column in the ovary and by the site of attachment. So, the term placentation most commonly refers to the arrangement of placentae inside a flower or fruit. Placentation may be defined as the mode of arrangement of placentae or ovule-bearing cushion of parenchymatous cells within the ovary. Different patterns of ovule attachment or placentation can be found among plants, and hence placentation is classified into different types. Types of placentation are marginal, parietal, exile, free central, basal and superficial. In marginal type, the ovary is unilocular and there is only one elongated placenta on one side of the ovary. This type is conspicuous in legumes and found in plants like Pisum sativum and Cassia. Parietal placentation occurs in bi- or multicarpellary but unilocular ovary. Exile presentation occurs in bi- or multicarpellary and multilocular ovary. Exile presentation shows chambers with the ovules attached in the center or the placentae in each locule. Free central placentation occurs in multicarpellary but unilocular ovary. So students, enough for today. Let us quickly check with some short questions what you have grabbed today. Be attentive, here are some questions. Question: what is aestivation? Answer: aestivation is basically the arrangement of sepals and petals in a bud. It can be defined as the arrangement of sepals and petals in a floral bud with respect to other members of the same whorl. Next question: which type of estivation is found in Calotropis? Answer: valvate type of estivation is found in Calotropis. The next question is, list the various types of estivation. Answer: the main types of estivation are valvate, twisted, imbricate, vexillary and quincuncial. The next question is, name the type of estivation shown here in the image. Answer: yes, you are right. This is a twisted type of estivation. The next question is, name the plant which possess exile presentation. Answer: Hibiscus rosa sinensis possess exile presentation. The next question is, name two plants in which quincuncial estivation is found. Answer: quincuncial estivation is found in Cydium guajava, that is guava, and Punica granitum, that is anar. The next question is, define placentation. Answer: placentation may be defined as the mode of arrangement of placentae
or ovules
within the ovary bearing cushion of parenchymatous cells. The next question is, name the structure or part by which the ovule is attached to the placental wall of the ovary. Answer: Funiculus is the part by which the ovule is attached to the placental wall of the ovary. Next question. List the types of placentation found in Angiosperms. Answer: types of placentation are marginal, parietal, exile, free central, basal and superficial. My next question is, which type of placentation is shown here? Answer: yes, you are right. This is a parietal type of placentation. The next question is, which type of presentation is found in Pisum sativum? Answer: marginal type of placentation is found in Pisum sativum. Hope I have made a successful attempt to clear your concepts regarding estivation and placentation, which will help you in fetching good marks in the exam. ਧਿਆਨ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਫਿਰ ਮਿਲਾਂਗੇ।